We're talking about podcasts. We're talking about itty bitty podcasts. Podcast.
Merry Mini Monday, Chunkies. I'm Carter.
Doge.
And Jordan.
I was trying real hard not to have any consonants in that.
Carter.
When you play it back on the song, it's just like itty haw hey. So little treat. I'm trying to get in that Easter egg mood because of Pixar.
Yeah.
Sure.
As we get in that
Just
mood.
hide stuff. All these teases.
But before we get there, first it was not quite time for James Bond. Now it's move on from Mulan. And not so fast. And I guarantee you we are all furious.
I am furious.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is all in the news.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's the news time. This is crazy. I think it's also because of daylight savings and it's being dark outside this morning. But like,
Feels like the end of the world today.
when I slacked y'all, like afterwards, was I the first person you heard from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad it came from me. Fast 9, because of coronavirus, has been moved to more than a year from now. So I think it's April 2nd of 2021.
Hey, let's take a moment just to be thankful that we now live in a world where that makes us sad.
I was about to say, if you told me
Right?
3 years ago that there is going to be a global health crisis and it will cause the 9th Fast and Furious movie to be moved a year, and you're going to be bummed about that.
Right.
The least believable thing about that sentence is that I would be bummed about a Fast and Furious movie
100%.
moving.
Right.
But I am absolutely gutted.
I think this is a case of it's better to have loved than lost than to
never have loved at all.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I think that it's one of those things where it's like, man, I wouldn't have been sad if I didn't care about Fast and Furious, but do I want to go back to that world where I didn't care
No.
about Fast and
Right.
Furious?
I'm
I
just
don't
thinking
think
of the
so.
Sarah McLachlan song whenever Jesse's owner donates her under the tree, and I'm picturing me and Vin Diesel in that montage.
Just
Oh,
dropping you
Vin.
into that box.
Yeah,
He's got a wife beater on, huh?
yeah.
For sure.
Gold
He's got
chain.
that- got that
both
tank.
You're both wearing
we're
wife
both
beaters.
wearing wife beaters.
You're both wearing the same wife beater.
Same one. Yeah.
You're stacked together like when you buy 2 deodorants in that package.
Yes. I want to reassure, and this won't happen every Mini Monday, but we'll just say it here in person as we're sitting here in the cars with those of you. We're 6 feet away
Yes.
in your car.
Yeah, at least.
Be sure and keep our sound at a good distance.
No,
But
we're all talking mouth to mouth right now.
we are
we
talking
are sharing
about,
one microphone.
Jordan and I had a episode
That's
like
true.
that.
We did have to do that.
But we're not going away. We've actually been talking about our contingency plans.
Yeah.
Things might sound a little bit different because we might be doing things remotely.
Honestly, they might sound better.
It might sound better. There might
This might
be
just
a
just what we need.
yes. There might be a release time that is later than normal, but it's definitely not. We do not foresee skipping
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
because we will be here. So we want to be that for you. I have 2 movies that I recommend that you watch during this quarantining of sorts because they're going to have a completely new meaning. I think you should watch Space Jam because in Space Jam, the NBA just gets shut down and you
Yeah.
think how unrealistic that is. I think you should also watch Castaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally happening right now. Like when I saw Come From Away, all of us have
Yeah.
Dallas Summer Musical
Yeah.
tickets.
Wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
Saw it on Wednesday from the hours of 7:30 p.m. to 9:30
Oh boy,
p.m.
that's when everything changed, huh?
I
was
left
those,
this place.
those wild hours.
That's when the Fire Nation attacked.
I left this place and found out that Space Jam and Castaway are real now.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just like, what on earth is happening to the world? So outside of just the NBA, the coronavirus, very seriously, everybody, we would love stay healthy, like follow the rules. Don't freak out. There's some funny memes out there too of just like these bathrooms that their walls are adorned with toilet paper. That's just like
Right.
there's like rolls and rolls of toilet paper. It's like, okay, like we're not going to have a
yeah.
I found some.
There's plenty of outlets for you to learn how to handle the coronavirus.
I'm not trying to brag. I already had some.
Yeah, I had a little bit, but I found more. I only bought 1 package because I'm not a total monster.
I was about to
but-
say, remember that for you to not get sick, other people have to wash their hands and wipe their butts too.
right. So don't just take it all
Don't
from
buy
them.
it all.
No,
Um,
I think that this is the perfect time to binge that show. Or
I think
catch
it
up
is.
on your movie.
It absolutely is. Hey,
Coronavirus for sure.
recommendation for binging a show, The Good Place.
Oh, yeah.
Jess and I
you're
just
real
watched
about that
the
right now.
entire thing.
Y'all are done now?
Yeah, it's
That's
so
amazing.
good.
That's amazing.
Man, that finale, big boy tears for
Yeah.
the entire, like legitimately the
I
entire
haven't,
episode.
I'm not up to the finale, but
It's real good.
If the quarantines and stuff keep up for a little bit, then thankfully Animal Crossing's about to come out, so I'll be able to just dump all of my time into that.
oh,
bad boy.
100%. You can just go live in that world.
Oh, I plan
That's
to.
free
There's
of
no
disease.
coronavirus there.
I am unfortunately in awful timing started binging Attack on Titan,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is making it, like my world is bleak right now. Like
You need Animal Crossing. Is
I
what you
need Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I need Pixar, and I'm excited for that. And in the world of coronavirus, just kind of destroying my hobbies in terms of like things that I like to spend my extra time with. March Madness is gone officially. This is one of the big sporting events, and understandably, because it's college, it's canceled. Like it's not suspended; it's gone.
Right.
Like all these guys that were ready to play in their final year of college and make the tournament won't. They just end it now.
Yeah.
Clearer heads will prevail this March. It's an end to the madness. Finally, I'm so thankful that we can all approach things with perspective and clarity.
Yes, we have a replacement, and we're bringing it back from last year.
Ooh.
Yes.
There
was
we
a
got a call.
void.
We got a call from the CDC,
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA.
the NCAA, the NBA. Everybody
KFC.
kind of got in on it.
The
2K,
The Who.
Not
Who
the World
called-
Health Organization, the band, the Who.
the band,
Yeah, My Generation.
Uh, and they said the people need something.
Yeah.
They need the silly. They need something. And so I looked at this pool of marvelous characters that Disney has created in Pixar, and I made a bracket for us. This is Spring Delirium.
Ugh.
So the way that Spring Delirium is going to work this year, we did it last year, and that's worth a listen. If you are really in the Disney mood and you've got a lot of time on your hands, which you might.
Yeah.
If you have too much time on your hands, you 20 seconds. Wash that off. Do all the rubs and
Yeah.
under the
Time
nails.
comes off
Uh-huh.
with Dawn.
Time does come off with dawn. That might be with the dawn brings. I don't know,
A double entendre.
a double entendre.
Double entendre.
We did sidekicks last year in like classic Disney movies.
True.
This year,
Uh-oh.
it's 64, like the actual March Madness. There are
Whoa.
64 characters in this.
Oh my goodness.
So I went and found several websites, several rankings, and then kind of filled in ones that if you were just saying some of these movies, you could name these people off the top of your head. But
Okay.
which is such a crazy thing.
64 characters.
I think
at
back
least.
to when Toy Story came out, which by the way, Toy Story represents the most characters in
Yeah.
this bracket.
Sure.
Who would have thought that someday you could just have, I mean, there's 64 names on here that most people would recognize.
Right.
Isn't that
Pretty
amazing
wild.
for a
That's cool.
franchise?
Yeah.
So we're going to go through and
We're going to have a pretty big first round today then.
we're not doing all of the first round today.
Okay.
This will be the only round that's split into 2 weeks.
I like
so
that.
for
Okay.
our Pixar series, we do have 7 weeks. So our first week will be the first 16 matchups.
It's the
And
East,
then we'll do
the East Conference.
That's
Next
right.
will be West.
It's East and West. And then we'll have North and South
Right.
next week.
And then some of
Up
the,
and down.
some of the
And then we have 32
intermediate
there.
cardinal
We'll do
directions.
all of those in the 32.
Right.
And then we'll do all in the 16. And then we'll do when it gets to the Elite 8 though, here's what I propose. Why don't we give the Elite 8, why don't we just that be our Patreon members only?
Ooh,
Decide who's in the
Yeah.
final 4. And then the final 4 and the championship are up to the world.
I love it.
Cool?
That's perfect.
So we got to start today, but it starts with you. You curate this.
Yeah.
Remember, I will be the tiebreaker. If y'all remember last year,
Yep.
that there's someone on either side here, then you state your case. We take a little bit of time there,
Yeah.
and then I come in and decide between them.
That's
But
good stuff.
we'll start off with one of our higher seeds. We've got Woody
Okay.
against Doc Hudson from Cars.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be Woody.
Paul Newman.
Yeah. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1.
Woody.
Woody. Yeah.
Okay, Woody moves on. Then we've got, this gets a little harder. So with Toy Story having so many characters, and this might pop up again, because there are a handful of those movies that just give us a ton of personalities, especially with a lot of sequels.
Yeah.
We've got a couple Toy Story representatives here.
Toy Story v. Toy Story.
So we've got Rex
I knew you were going to say Rex.
against Wheezy,
Okay.
the penguin.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Rex.
Okay, Rex
Nice.
moves on.
Yes. Good.
And then we'll come down
Penguins
here.
are my favorite animal, though. I don't know if I've ever said
I
that
forgot
on this
about that.
podcast, but I do love them.
We have Mr. Incredible himself
Okay.
against Kaboom. Kaboom is Keanu Reeves' character
Kaboom.
from Toy Story. 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Incredible.
If you remember last year, these get harder, right?
yes,
These
yes,
will
very
get
much.
harder. And even in these first rounds, there's some pretty difficult matchups. Exhibit A, for me personally. We'll see if it's the same for y'all. Next, we have Linguini of Ratatouille
Okay.
against Marlin of Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Nemo's daddy.
Mm.
3, 2, 1.
Marlin.
Interesting. Okay.
Ratatouille is fantastic. I think it went over my head the first time I saw it, and I haven't watched it since.
Gotcha. Roz of
Okay.
Monsters Incorporated against Jesse of Toy Story. 3, 2, 1.
Jesse.
Roz.
Okay, we've got our first tie. Jordan represents Roz.
Yeah.
Doge represents Jesse. Give me a reason as to why you think they need to move on in Spring Delirium. Here ensues the Delirium. Am I right? What do we got, Jordan?
To me, Roz just sits on an island. She's different than a lot of other characters. I think she's very funny. And also, on a more personal note, as a child, I used to love to quote the "I'm watching you, Wazowski,"
Yes.
which is just a good time.
It is.
I think that when we're considering the quality of a Pixar character and the ability of a Pixar character to borrow from our Disney Dozen series to go the distance, I think the important factor that we're forgetting is the tier quota. Roz, I would posit, has a 0 tier quota.
Unless you count Tears of Laughter.
Jessie, I would posit, has a 100 tier quota. There are approximately 100 tears that are shed around Jessie, and that breaks down to about 50 during that Sarah McLachlan song I talked about earlier, and then about another 25 whenever Andy gives the toys to Bonnie, and then 25 whenever the climax of Toy Story 4. And so if we're looking at 100 tears versus 0 tears, I've got to go with the 100 tears,
She's not even in the Toy Story movie that was selected for this series.
which I think is wild, but we'll get to that in a couple of weeks.
I have to take into account the arguments. I also have to take into account what I would have voted for. Moving on to the next round, and this is so hard, is Roz.
I quit the podcast.
I'm watching you, Wazowski.
Dozowski. Battle of the Villains here.
Yes.
Syndrome from The Incredibles and Zurg
Oh, no.
from Toy Story.
Why did you do this?
I told you this gets hard. Like, there's only a handful of matchups in all 64 of these characters that you're like, oh, duh, Woody. Imagine what it'll be like 2 weeks from now when the 32 winners from these first 2 weeks have to go against
This
each
is
other.
such a difficult one.
I got my answer
This
easy.
is a lot of pressure.
I
This
have
is why the
easy-
world
I
is
have
on
easy
you.
answer too.
Syndrome against Zurg. 3, 2, 1.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
Syndrome. It is. I agree. That's a good one. Next, we have Eva of WALL-E and Sadness of Inside Out.
Ooh, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Sadness.
Sadness it is. Very good.
Yeah,
And then
can I throw some weirdness into the mix since it wasn't a selected movie? I don't really care for WALL-E.
When was the last time you watched it?
It's been a long time.
yeah.
That's another one that went completely over my head the first time I saw it. Like when
Really?
it came out on rewatches, it is so good.
It is
I
really
think it's
good.
really
I'll
fantastic.
rewatch it
I
then.
love it. Next, we have Arlo. Speaking of another one, this is the
From The
only
Good
Pixar
Dinosaur?
one I haven't seen.
Oh, I haven't seen this either.
He's the
Oh.
dinosaur, right?
It's all right. Yeah, he's the main character.
Arlo against Russell of Up.
Okay, yeah, that's no contest.
3,
Yeah, sorry.
2, 1.
It's gonna
Russell.
be Russ.
Okay, so that is our. We'll say that's the eastern side, the top left. I don't know. It's part of the bracket. Now we're going. We have 8 more matchups. Are y'all ready?
Oh, good. Yes.
Are you mentally prepared?
Yep.
Speaking of WALL-E, we have WALL-E against another character from Up, Kevin, the bird. 3, 2, 1.
Wally.
WALL-E, it is. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. There are some hard matchups all up on this bracket. Okay. Next, we have Joy, Amy Poehler's Joy,
Yeah.
and Inside Out against Ham from Toy Story, the piggy bank. 3, 2, 1.
Joy.
Wow. Okay. Jordan got to go first time. First time, last time? First time? Doge, give me why Joy moves on here.
Joy drives the narrative forward. Joy, again, I don't want to bring up tier quota again. Joy does have a much more favorable tier quota than Ham does, if we're taking that into consideration. But Joy is the one that really drives the narrative for me. I think without Ham, we still have a Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4. And without Joy, we don't have any Inside Outs.
That's Jordan? Yeah, driving the narrative and tier quota do not factor into this for myself. And to me, what
has this whole
podcast
podcast even been about then?
What it boils down to is Ham is a super weird and fun character that I don't know that I've really seen anywhere else. I know that everything in Toy Story is a living inanimate object, but just the piggy bank that is a pig that still has the piggy bank slot. I don't know. It's so unique. He's very funny. He's great comedic relief.
But like the actual personification of an emotion, like that's not very unique. I've seen that a million times.
Yeah, I'm into Ham. So
I too am into Ham, but Joy wins in Spring Delirium.
Fair.
We have Lightning McQueen.
Ka-chow.
Against Hector of Coco.
Hector Salamanca.
No. Different one. 3, 2, 1.
Hector.
Lightning McQueen.
Okay.
Let me explain myself.
You're first anyways.
Hector is better.
Okay.
So far, you're not helping your case.
No. Stick with me. Hector's better. Coco's a better movie. It's no contest there. But Lightning McQueen, like, I don't know, something about the cultural phenomenon of every lunchbox and backpack and like how obsessed people were with cars when it first came out. Lightning McQueen is, there's rides. You're not going to get on Hector's test track at Disney World. Lightning McQueen is a phenomenon, and Owen Wilson also. So yeah, I don't think he's a better character, but for this, I think it's like he's the team that's Duncan.
Yeah. Doge?
Okay, hear me out. Cars sucks and it's weird. What?
Sustained.
Okay. So, what is a car's childhood? Are they a smaller car?
Wait, what is this?
No, hear me out.
Is this an attack
no,
ad?
Hear me out. What is a car's childhood? Are they a smaller car? What happens when he gets old? Does his tires go gray? What happened? What were his parents? Does he have parents? Was he made in a factory? Was that factory made by humans, or was it also made by other cars?
So what are you saying, though?
I'm saying I can.
This is not an argument about whether cars sucks.
I'm saying
sucks.
Hector is Bones. I'm saying Hector is Bones, but I can identify with Hector and I can relate to Hector as a character. Even though Hector is Bones, I have more in common with Hector than I do with Lightning, the car.
This feels like when Michael Scott is like, sometimes I start sentences and don't really know where they're...
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not have a plan for what I was going to say beyond cars sucks and it's weird.
Which I agree with. But it's not... Spring Delirium isn't... Are they from a good movie?
Again, if we're talking tier quota and driving the narrative.
Which I'm not.
I'm talking tier quota.
This is good, though. I'm glad that this conversation gets brought up.
Hector's got a way greater tier quota than Lightning.
Your perception of Pixar movies as every single one is a tearjerker is not something I agree with.
That's not my perception.
You both have made truly valid points. But I do have to side with culturally the influence and coming from someone who has their own car corner.
That's true.
Lightning McQueen moves on. Hector does not make it past round
Hey, have
one.
I ever told you guys how much I hate our podcast?
Here's one to make you all love each other again. Buzz Lightyear against Princess Ada from Bug's Life.
Princess Abba. Did I say Abba? That's from the fake outtakes at the end of Pixar movies, how they used to do it. Anyway,
Those are funny, though.
they're
Bugs
very
Life. They are good.
funny.
3, 2, 1.
Buzz Lightyear.
I thought one of you was going to say it just for fun. We have another battle of the villains.
Yeah.
Anton Ego against Bruce. Anton Ego is the food critic in Ratatouille. Bruce, the shark. Fish are friends. 3, 2, 1.
Bruce.
So interesting enough.
I'm having fish tonight.
Ratatouille is so good. It's one of my wife's favorite, if not my wife's favorite Pixar movie.
Really?
Anton Ego is very underrated.
Yes.
In a lot of these rankings lists on Pixar's like best characters, he is consistently a top 5. So it definitely makes me want to watch it again because of.
I think Ratatouille is underrated.
Absolutely.
I think
it's been recently getting a lot of heat.
People didn't know what it was when it came out, I think.
Yeah.
We've got 3 more matchups. Disgust of Inside Out against Violet of The Incredibles. 3, 2, 1.
Violet.
Violet moves on. We have Stinky Pete of Toy Story
Francois.
against Crush of Finding Nemo.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1. Stinky
Crush.
Pete. Okay, so we've got Stinky Pete against Crush. Doge gets to go first this time for Stinky Pete team.
Kelsey Grammer.
That's true. I forgot it was Kelsey Grammer.
Frazier.
Francois Grain.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. I mean, what else do you want me to say?
I rest my case. That's literally it. I love Stinky Pete and I love that good grammar boy.
Okay, this is amazing because my argument for Crush was literally going to be, I don't think I have to argue for Crush. He's amazing. I think that his whole vibe, like Crush's whole steez from top to bottom in that movie is everything I want. Yeah, I mean, Crush is my winner.
Just this weird Venn diagram of Tony Hawk and Ty Pennington.
Yes, dude. It's like,
Doge, you've worked against yourself. Crush moves on because of that deep pull.
that bus.
From that deep pull. That was amazing. Our final matchup of today. I'm
sweaty now from laughing at that.
Oh, I'm so excited that this is fun. I'm loving to do this for the next. Actually, it will get less fun, like when there's 16 of them left.
When every single one of them is
there's
Hector versus Lightning McQueen.
Right. We have Boo of Monsters Incorporated against Mr. Potato Head. 3, 2, 1.
Boo. Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to fight you on that.
Much
But it
respect,
didn't
much
feel
love
like-
to Don Rickles.
Right.
But
It
Boo's
didn't
a way
feel
better
like
character.
it wasn't like Woody against Doc Hudson. You know, it was like
I'm afraid that we're going to get to a Woody versus Buzz scenario. Oh, no, they're not. We're not going to.
We could.
Actually, they're on different sides of the bracket.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it could be Woody against Buzz.
Yeah, that would, that would be
Next
rough.
week,
That's easy
Sully and Mike are on other sides of the bracket too.
Okay.
So
Fun fact. We'll talk about it when we get to that episode, but Boo in Monsters, Inc., first movie I ever cried at.
Really?
First thing to ever make me cry, like in a movie or TV show.
do y'all want to hear what those matchups will be? Not next week's matchups, but 2 weeks from now when we get
From
down
the ones
to
we
30.
just
yeah,
did?
just
Yeah.
so that you can start
Yeah.
praying about it. We'll have another Toy Story matchup. It'll be Woody against Rex. We'll have Syndrome against Sadness.
Okay.
Russell against Marlon. Mr. Incredible against Roz.
Okay.
Buzz against Bruce.
Okay.
Crush against Violet. Boo against Wally in one of the cutest
Ooh,
matchups of all time.
That is the cutest matchup.
Yeah, that's
and then
tough.
Lightning McQueen against Joy.
Boy, I hope your boy Lightning can make it another round against the fantastic Amy Poehler. Who knows what she'll think of next?
It's not Amy Poehler, it's Joy.
Those are actually, that's fun. That's a fun matchup because y'all fought for both of those to be there, right?
Yep.
Amazing. Our last game of the day, because Spring Delirium does take up quite a bit of time. First of all, can we make the comment, because Fast 9 is gone, I only get Vin Diesel money from Bloodshot.
I saw
For
a
box
review.
office
I saw
ball.
a review of Bloodshot that called it the best superhero movie of 2001.
That's very good.
That's amazing.
I haven't even thought about yet. I haven't taken the time to even think about how all of our box office ball scores are going to be like $5 this season.
Yeah.
So now I bring up Box Office Ball because now I want us to play Rumpelstiltskin.
Wait for ya! Guess the name! Win the Rumpelstiltskin game!
So there are a few movies that...
Real quick. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, sorry for the sound.
Oh, yeah. We apologize. There's a few movies that... it's interesting. You can tell how big of a deal a movie is if a pandemic moves its release date. Some movies, they still release.
They
We're
stand-
staying
they
the
stand
course,
strong.
baby. We were already going to get 0 people.
And now...
I actually have, sorry, before we jump into this too hard, do you think there's any chance that we start to see some movies move to a digital at-home release?
I think so. Absolutely.
I wonder
think
if
so.
this is a culture shifter.
Could be.
I mean, yeah. In the movie world even too. That's crazy. I feel that.
Or like AMC is going to launch a streaming service, like AMC Theaters or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or Cinemark's going to be like, get
Something.
Cinemark Plus.
Something. It just makes me wonder if one of these movies is going to be like, you know what? No, we made this movie. Watch it. Here you go. Not
very,
for free.
very likely still releasing on March 27th. Rumpelstiltskin, by the way, I read synopsis to these guys and then they, not synopsis, what would you call that?
Synopsis.
Movie info
Yeah. And
to
we
these
guess
guys.
the
And
name.
they have to guess the name of the movie, much like we do with Rumpelstiltskin every day. I mean, if you've lived life, you've had to guess his
You've
name.
had to
you've
guess
had a
his
bump into
name.
this
He's
guy.
always sitting there weaving his golden loom.
Faced with their loved ones serving in Afghanistan, women from different backgrounds come together to form the very first military wives choir, helping each other through some of life's most difficult moments on an international stage. The name of this movie.
Pitch Perfect 4, Zero Dark 30. There's a colon after 4.
I would imagine.
It's called Zero Dark Dirty Dancing.
There's already a consensus on this
that's
movie.
good.
There's already a
better.
consensus on this movie, by the way. And I hate to give
Is it that it's incredible?
it's 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's the new Citizen Kane.
Like a favorite song you know by heart, blank offers few surprises, but its pleasures are no less formidable for their familiarity.
Is that a review of our podcast?
That is right. No. Jordan, what's your guess?
My guess is Holding Out for a Hero Dark 30.
This movie's called Black Hawk Choir Gown.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. It is called Military Wives.
Yeah.
More
Boy.
literal on this one.
Yeah.
We spent a lot more time writing the script than
I
thinking of the
always
title,
forget.
huh?
I always forget in this game that being funny is cool, but the way to win is
The way
just
to win is to
describe the movie.
Say a bad name for a movie.
Yeah.
Also releasing on March 27th. It doesn't sound similar to that movie at all, the one we just mentioned. It's an hour and 26 minutes long. A paraplegic prison inmate agrees to volunteer for a military experiment with the promise that he will walk again. He soon discovers that those behind this new science have nefarious purposes.
This is Upgrade, but worse, it sounds like.
This is called The Inmate.
David Arquette, I think, is the soldier. Yep, it's David Arquette for
Good.
sure.
I'm so glad.
This movie is called Running Free.
This movie is called 2099,
Yeah.
The Soldier Protocol.
Oh my god.
The Soldier Protocol.
And then, wait, we might have another one to do.
That title alone and the description just gave me the weirdest, like, existential, out of body, like, we live in a world that greenlit that movie.
Dude, that name feels like it was written in another language and translated to English.
Right.
I've got 2 movies left for you guys, and these are going to be great. Releasing March 27th. March 27th, big
movie day.
Big weekend for movies. An hour and 26 minutes long. You can see all these movies in like 4 hours. 3 psychopaths use various weapons to kill a man and his wife over and over again in the remote wilderness. If you guess this right, I will give you everything.
We're both taking it super seriously now that you've placed that on the table.
3 psychopaths use various weapons to kill a man and his wife over and over again in the remote wilderness.
This movie's called Time Killers.
It's called Reincarnate.
This movie is called Coco D, Coco Da.
Life goes on.
I'm showing them the movie
Is
poster.
it like German or something?
Coco di, Coco da.
Oh, wait, it is German.
We're going to kill you over and over again in the woods.
This is a very scary cat.
Welcome back to life. We're still here. We're serial killers. We're still
We
here. We're going to
kill.
kill you again.
If it's
Bye
okay with you
again.
this time, I think we're going to use some ropes or something.
Finally,
Maybe next time we could use a chainsaw.
I'm thinking like a baseball bat or something for next
a
time.
newly sober detective thinks his sponsor has the power to make things disappear. A newly sober detective thinks his sponsor has the power to make things disappear.
Okay, this isn't the thinker. But I'm gonna go with Rumshoe
Okay.
Abracadabra is anonymous.
because gumshoe.
You know, I got
But
it.
it's rum.
I got it.
It's
Yeah.
about alcohol, guys. It's a thinker.
This movie is called.
Wait, I want to try again. I want to try again. Hold on.
Do you really?
Yeah. NYPD, but the D stands for disappear. Huh?
This movie. You ever get so excited to like
Wait, I want to
tell
try
your
again.
friends something?
Wait, hold on. I want to try.
No, this movie is called Butt Boy.
It has 100%.
It is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Butt Boy.
Is Butt Boy the new Citizen Kane?
Dude.
In 100 years, are people going to be like, I don't know what they were doing in cinema before Butt Boy came out.
Butt Boy. It's called Butt Boy.
Why?
What?
Why? Hey, why?
To end this episode, I'd love to hear your name. And then I'd love to hear the name of Butt Boy's sidekick. I'm Carter. And Robin. Butt Boy and Robin. Doge?
Yes, I am. Good Good segue.
No, sorry.
I am Doge. And this is the adventures of Butt Boy and Craxon.
Craxon? It gets funnier.
It's like Jackson,
oh, yeah.
but this one is Craxon.
Yeah, I'm Jordan. Butt Boy never leaves home without his trusty sidekick, the Skid.
Yikes.
I should have said Lava Girl. I totally missed it. I totally missed an opportunity there.